This is the Week in Review for thetrumpet.com, Friday, February 10th, 2012. The Syrian city of Homs became a war zone on Monday. Syrian government forces barraged the city with heavy artillery, striking a hospital and other buildings. Homs is a hotbed of anti-government sentiment. This week's violence comes just days after Russia and China vetoed a United Nations resolution that would have condemned the Syrian government for its violent crackdown on dissent. The UN resolution would have also called for a peaceful transition of power away from the regime of President Bashar al-Assad, which has dominated Syria for a decade. Meanwhile, German Foreign Minister Guido Westerwelle said that Germany will continue to push for Assad's ouster. Assad has received support from Iran, which views Syria as a key ally. The Trumpet has forecast that the unrest in Syria will eventually lead to a break in Iranian-Syrian relations. Also, watch for Germany to take on a more forceful role in Syria. On Monday, the United States imposed new sanctions against Iran that will freeze more of its financial assets. Europe is also participating in the attempt to deprive Iran of its oil income. On Tuesday, a foreign ministry spokesman said that the economic punishment would not only fail to stop his country's nuclear program, but also strengthen Iran's resolve. Bible prophecy says that Iran's defiance will continue to rise until it clashes not with the United States, but a German-led Europe. German Chancellor Angela Merkel made it clear on Tuesday that she does not want Greece to leave the Eurozone. In an address to students in Berlin, she said she would not force Greece out. Her words come as the Greek government considers yet another round of austerity measures to try to secure more bailout funds. Greeks are facing two choices: take more money and more orders from Europe, or retain some national sovereignty and go bankrupt. But the choice will be made for them, it appears. Germany will continue to force its will on Greece and the rest of the Eurozone in order to bind the continent closer in a much tighter economic and political union. Russia tested its new Flanker E jet fighter at the end of last month. The fighter, manufactured by Sukhoi, has a range of 2,200 miles without refueling, a ceiling of 59,000 feet, and a top speed of 1,400 miles per hour. The fighter's radar can also detect aircraft nearly 250 miles away, a range greater than that of any other combat aircraft. Sukhoi plans to sell the new fighters to Russia, China, India, Malaysia, and Indonesia, representing a significant boost to these Asian powers. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has struck down California's ban on homosexual marriage. California voters passed the law in 2008, but the federal court declared the measure unconstitutional on Tuesday. The court's majority opinion stated that the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause should apply to homosexuals. This legal intervention sets the stage for an almost unavoidable showdown in the Supreme Court. In the name of protecting, or at least interpreting, the Constitution, the Ninth Circuit has dismissed the morality and character shared by the Founding Fathers. The framers understood that the best laws men can devise lead to anarchy without the moral restrictions of a higher spiritual code. The percentage of Americans participating in the labor force is at a 30-year low. According to data released this week by the U.S. government, only 64% of Americans are employed or actively searching for a job. The Chicago Fed attributes half of the decline to retiring baby boomers and half to those who have given up looking for work. Presidential candidate Ron Paul said this week that one reason why the nation's official unemployment rate dropped recently is that the Department of Labor simply does not count so-called discouraged workers in their calculations. More and more factors indicate that the U.S. economy is far from recovered. A recent report by Eurostat indicates that many Britons are not very hard workers. According to the study, 13% of Britons live in households with very low work intensity. The figure is the highest anywhere in the European Union. Eurostat studied the number of people under 60 years old who worked less than 20% of their total potential in the previous year. Britain continues to suffer societal ailments of all types, making its chronic welfare and unemployment problems unsurprising. That is thetrumpet.com Week in Review.